Okay, I just want to share with you guys the current trial I'm following. It started on Tuesday. The prosecution rested on Friday. The defense started their case. So this is in Florida. The man on trial is Tim Ferriter. Tim Ferriter and his wife have been charged with child abuse, false imprisonment, and child neglect. Now, they were supposed to go to trial together. The trials are severed. He's going first. She's in the courtroom sitting right behind him every day supporting him. Anyway, it's a family that has 4 children. I think 3 are adopted and the youngest one is a biological child of their own. The first child they adopted from China. The second child, which is the subject of this action, was adopted from an orphanage in Vietnam when he was, I believe, 17 months old. We'll call him Ronan. I believe he goes by Ty now, but we'll stick to Ronan. And apparently, Ronan has some behavioral issues. He suffers from reactive detachment disorder. And a child psychologist that was on the stand said that could be caused from being abandoned at the orphanage when he was only 7 months old. It's not surprising that the child is misbehaving. Like, there's past trauma there. In any event, their way to discipline him, at some point, he didn't have his own bedroom anymore, or a bedroom. They built a structure for him away from the main house. They moved from Arizona to Florida. So I believe while they were in Arizona, there was a structure there as well. So before they got to Florida, Tim had hired a contractor to build an 8x8 structure, or he called it an office, in the garage. He wanted a ceiling, no windows, no handle on the inside, but a deadbolt on the outside of the room and the light switch outside of the room. Contractor found that very odd.
What will be the reason for someone to want to reverse locks on an office in the garage, which is completely sealed? And the only reason I could come up with was that he wants to lock a person over there.
So he called the police. He let them know, there's something up. Like, this doesn't seem right. The police said they couldn't do anything. Like, that wasn't enough for them to go investigate. But they did make a report. In any event, Ronan was on the stand, but because he's a minor, we can't see him, but we could hear the audio of his testimony. And he said that he knew they were building this box for him to live in when they moved. So the attorney asked, like, how did you know? He's like, I overheard them talking because I was locked in their closet. What? This is a child.
Where did you sleep?
I slept in an 8x8 room in the garage.
Was that room built into the garage?
It was built inside the garage.
Who built that? Or who had it built?
Timothy hired a contractor to build it in December of 2021.
Right, and how do you know that?
Because I was kept in their closet and I overheard the conversation of them having to build it.
So anyway, this cage in the garage was just drywall. There was no paint. Cement floor, the garage floor that had a rug on the floor. A box spring and a mattress, a desk and a chair. Now, he would sleep in there. Pitch black. He's not allowed to leave from that room. Obviously, he's locked in. So, unless they let him out, he's stuck in there. And sometimes in complete darkness because they would turn the light off on him. And the only thing he had in there was books. And that's all he could do. He had nothing else. Sometimes it was only one book and he reread the one book over and over and over again. If he had to go to the bathroom and relieve himself, they had a bucket for him in the room. And in the morning, when they'd wake him up to get ready for school, he would have to go out, dump the bucket in the bushes, clean it, but make sure the neighbors don't see. Like, this kid wakes up to go clean a bucket of, like, his waste. Sorry, I get emotional. This is just, it's too much. Like, I can't even imagine. So they wake him up, let's say 6 a.m. If he wants to go shower or use the bathroom in the main house, he can do that. Then he's put back in the room with the door locked to get dressed. His breakfast seemed to pretty much always be like some bread and peanut butter and maybe a fruit. His lunches, the same thing. Apparently, he didn't have dinner with the family. They would give him what was left over after they ate. If he wanted more, couldn't get more. If he wanted snacks, he wasn't allowed to have snacks. He wasn't allowed to buy lunch from school. And one time, like, he got in a lot of trouble because he stole a cookie. Like, a fucking cookie. He's a kid. I'm so sorry. I can't. When Tim had this room built, he also wanted a ring can be installed. So not only is this child locked up in there, but you're going to watch him 24/7, okay? Like, what the fuck is he going to do? And there are some clips of Tim, like, going off on him, like, destroying the space. I don't even want to call it a room. Destroying it and cussing at him and just belittling him. Again, it's a kid.
You're acting like an asshole here, but you're a tough guy, right? You're gonna break shit. Let me break shit, right? I don't give a shit. Let's break it. Let's break all this shit. I don't need it. Let's rip it off the wall. You're lucky you have anything. Maybe a ground with no carpet. Maybe no bed would be ideal for you. Thinks I'm doing something. Hell yes! So you're not fucking special.
Now, were there times that the family went to events or out of the house and you were alone locked in the room?
Yes.
Ronan, did you like being in that room?
No.
Did you want to be in the room?
No.
How did it make you feel?
To me, being locked in a room, it's dehumanizing. It's almost as bad as genocide. It's saddening to abuse a child that was just acting like a child.
I don't know of anything that a child could do to justify this kind of treatment. I don't know. I can't think of anything that could cause this. He was often left in the room for 18 hours at a time. Can you imagine, like, that solitary confinement? You know what that does to a person? And a child? Oh. And as disturbing and as messed up as this is, Tim Ferriter was offered a plea deal. He was offered 24 months in jail. 2 years. And this man is so confident. This is the problem. I can't even begin to understand. I don't think him and his wife think there was anything wrong with what they were doing. He's so confident that he's justified because of Ronan's behavior and justifying what he was doing, that he rejected the plea deal, says, no, let's go to trial. Well, by going to trial, you're facing up to 30, 40 years in prison. And guess what? You're going to get it. You should have taken that 24 months. You're an idiot. There is no jury that's going to find this man not guilty. I watch a lot of trials. You know, sometimes the jury, their verdict, does surprise us. This one, I'll bet money on it. There is no way Tim Ferriter will be found not guilty. He will be found guilty, I believe, on all 3 counts, and he will be sent to prison for a very long time. Now, he'll have a cage of his own and no control of the lights or the temperature. Oh, Ronan got in trouble because I think he had changed the temperature on the air conditioning. And when they did let him out of his room, it was to do yard work or housework, and then he'd be put back in the room and locked up. He couldn't stay in the house and watch TV with his siblings. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. I needed to let that out.